The quiet whir of the ceiling fans echoes the courtroom. Sunlight seeps through the high windows, streaking faint lines across the smooth wooden floor. The benches groan as interested bystanders adjust their positions. Whispers sweep through the room, everyone's discussing the same topic. Kody Brown versus Meri Brown. The pair who had once exchanged love, laughter, and faith now stand on opposite sides of the courtroom, divided not only by distance, but by years of secrets. Meri sits upright, her fingers twisted together in her lap. Her gaze is on the judge, but her thoughts are elsewhere, back in the day when they were family. When the sister wives' home had still been home. A small shiver runs through her fingers, but she brushes it away quickly, taking a deep breath. She's not that same woman who used to weep in silence at night anymore. Not today. Today, she's here for truth. She sits across from him, with Kody sitting beside Robyn. He is exhausted looking but still has that air of control, as if he thinks he can talk himself out of it. Robyn has her hand resting lightly on his, yet there is tension in the set of her face that betrays her. Her mouth is tight, and her eyes flick towards Meri like sharp arrows. She knows something is brewing. The judge, a gray-haired woman with a stern expression, sharpens her glasses and clears her throat. This court will come to order. Meri stands up, her attorney at her side. The rustling of papers, shuffling of feet, all of it becomes background noise. She speaks directly in front of her, her voice firm but tinged with emotion. Your Honor, I did not come here seeking revenge. I came here seeking answers. The words cut through the air. Kody squirms in his chair. Robyn's hand comes out from between his. Meri goes on, years, I thought I was loyal, honest. I thought about family. But when it all began to crumble, I knew honesty was the only thing lacking. The gallery stirs. Cameras click from the far corner where a local reporter is seated. This isn't another family drama, it's a tempest about to erupt in the sister wives universe. Her lawyer steps forward. Your Honor, we'd like to submit Exhibit A into evidence. The bailiff takes a sealed envelope, walking it carefully to the judge. The courtroom watches every move. When the judge opens it, her brow furrows. DNA analysis, she asks. Yes, the lawyer replies, a paternity test. The results concern the child Kody and Robyn claim as their own. A shocked silence engulfs the room. Robyn's eyes go wide. Kody's jaw clenches. For a moment, even the judge hesitates. Kody lunges forward at his lawyer, whispering in anger. This is absurd. They can't just, but Meri interrupts him, her voice shaking but firm. I pleaded with you, Kody. I pleaded with you to tell the truth before this ever happened. Kody bangs his hand down on the table. You don't know what you're talking about. Gasps ripple through the courtroom. The judge slams her gavel. Order. Meri doesn't blink. Her eyes, shining under the fluorescent lights, lock onto his. I know more than you think. The tension thickens. Robyn's face contorts with confusion and fear. This isn't fair, she mutters. You don't understand what you're doing. Meri turns to her, the anguish in her voice slicing deep. You stole my husband, my family, and my peace, and you want my silence as well now? Robyn shakes her head, tears rising. It's not what you think, but Meri cuts in gently, it's precisely what I think. The attorney clicks a pen and goes on, DNA results reveal an inconsistency, one that contradicts Kody Brown's legal recognition as the father of the child. The judge's face pales. Are you suggesting? The attorney nods. We're suggesting that biologically, Mr. Brown is not the father. The whole room erupts into whispers. Robyn gasps loudly, covering her mouth. Kody's eyes flick back and forth between her and the papers. His voice drops to a low, shaking tone. Robyn, what is this? She glances down, tears falling onto her lap. I don't know. I swear I don't. The judge commands the room to fall silent once more. We will examine this evidence thoroughly. Until then, I recommend both sides to please remain civil. But respect is gone. Kody's eyes are a mix of anger and incredulity as he glares at Meri. You think this makes you the victim? You've always been dramatic, Meri. You just want attention. Her mouth is pursed, but her voice doesn't quiver. No, Kody. I want peace. And peace only comes with the truth. The judge calls for a brief recess. The gavel comes down. The courtroom erupts into bedlam. Reporters flood the hallway, phones in hand, attempting to get any look or quote they can. Meri moves out unobtrusively, refusing to acknowledge the strobing lights. Her attorney says something quietly to her, but she hardly hears him. Her mind is reeling. The worst moment, the one she wished would never arrive, is now the only option. She sits inside, holding her bag. Kody bends over, whispering intensely, "Tell me this isn't true." She shudders and shakes her head. "I don't know how this happened. You have to believe me." Kody massages his forehead, breathing heavily. "Do you know what this is going to do to us? To the family? To the show?" But Meri, in the hallway, doesn't catch their words. She gazes through the glass door at the gray sky. Between heartbreak and justice, she discovers a strange peace. The truth hurts, but it's real. The hallway is filled with whispers as Christine and Janelle emerge at the far end. They had come to stand up for Meri, even silently. Christine steps forward, her face unreadable. "So, it's out now?" she asks softly. Meri nods. "Yes. The truth is finally out." Janelle exhales slowly. "You think Kody will fight it?" Meri looks toward the courtroom doors where Kody still sits, furious and broken. "He'll fight everything except his own reflection." The three women stand together, silent for a moment. A bond reforged through pain and betrayal. The recess bell sounds, calling everyone back. Meri glances over at her friends. "It's not over yet," she whispers. "Not by a long shot." They go back into the courtroom, and the mood has changed. Kody and Robyn no longer sit together. Their hands are separated, their expression chill. The judge takes her seat, reading over papers in front of her. Consideration of the seriousness of this evidence, she states sternly, "We will continue with additional testimony at the next hearing." In the meantime, all sides are directed to refrain from publicly discussing the case. But it's too late. Whispers on the courthouse steps, flashbulbs popping, murmurs of headlines, they've already come out into the world. Meri takes her papers, eyes locking with Kody's for one final moment before turning away. There is no triumph in her face, only inner strength. Kody's voice cracks softly, almost inaudible, as he watches her go. "You've ruined everything." She's at the door, looks back, and speaks, "No, Kody. You did this to yourself." The gavel comes down for the final time. Session 1 comes to a close as doors creak open, cameras click, and the world outside erupts with one searing question: who is the real father? The courthouse steps the next day are filled with journalists. Flashes light up, microphones extend forward like outstretched hands. The buzz of anticipation and the whispers fill the air. Everybody's discussing one thing: the DNA discovery. The Brown family, formerly the embodiment of togetherness on television, now stands broken under the force of something sinister. Meri gets there early, wearing black. Hair pulled back neatly, face serene, but the eyes betray her. Inside, her chest is weighed down. She hardly slept last night. Every time she opened and closed her eyes, she saw the face of Kody, shock, anger, betrayal. She had envisioned this day 1,000 times before, but not like this. Not in front of the entire world. Her attorney approaches her silently. "Ready?" Meri nods, her heart racing. "Let's be done with this." Nearby, in the courtyard, a black SUV arrives. Kody gets out first, his jaw clenched, his steps brisk. Robyn emerges second, her sunglasses concealing barely any of the tears marking her cheeks. They do not walk side by side, not anymore. There is space now, silent but icy. As they step inside the courtroom, the tension becomes thicker. Christine and Janelle sit in silence at the back row, observing. They had experienced their own tragedies, but this was not the same. This was war. The judge enters, and the courtroom grows silent. Court is now in session, she pronounces. We will proceed with the hearing of the DNA evidence submitted yesterday. Meri inhales deeply. The judge looks at Robyn. Mrs. Brown, now you are called to take the stand. Robyn rises slowly. Her hands tremble as she swears in. She seems smaller today, frail, like the burden of the truth already weighs her down. The attorney makes her way to Robyn. Mrs. Brown, you did publicly acknowledge the child in question as being your biological son of Mr. Kody Brown, didn't you? Robyn nods. Yes. We both thought he was Kody's. Thought, the attorney repeats, eyes narrowing. Robyn swallows hard. I never doubted it. Not until now. Kody's attorney objects, Your Honor, this line of questioning presumes guilt where none has been established. Overruled, says the judge. Continue. The lawyer slides a document across the table. Mrs. Brown, do you recognize this report? Robyn glances at it, her lips trembling. Yes. It confirms a 0% paternity match between your son and Mr. Brown. Can you explain this? Her voice cracks. I can't. I swear, I can't. The courtroom hums. Whispers rise. Kody remains still, his eyes fixed on the ground. His fingers tap out a nervous rhythm on the table. His entire persona, the self-assured patriarch, the man who guided his family through turmoil, now appears in shambles. Robyn dabs her tears. Your Honor, I was loyal to my husband. I never did anything to betray him. Meri's attorney comes forward again. Then can you tell me why hospital documents indicate your son's birth certificate was altered following initial filing? Robyn's head jerks up. What? Meri's attorney goes on, his tone crisp but controlled. Documents show a modification in paternal information. Somebody erased a name from the paper. Care to comment on why? Robyn glances at Kody, panic crossing her face. I don't have any idea about that. Kody's face goes pale. For an instant, his mask falters, a flash of something akin to fear flicks across his eyes. The judge calls for a brief recess, the storm brewing. But no one budges before Meri interrupts. Your Honor, may I say something? The courtroom comes to a halt. The judge pauses, then dips his head. Proceed. Meri stands, her tone firm. This isn't about revenge. It's about clarity. I spent years standing up for Kody, defending our reputation, thinking that our love, our family, was something special. But behind the cameras, we were living a lie. And now, that lie has a face. Kody finally lifts his head, his words low and menacing. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Watching me fall apart? Meri's face sets. No, Kody. I'm mourning it. I'm mourning the man I believed you to be. There are gasps throughout the room. Even the judge appears shaken. As the recess starts, Kody bursts out the back door, reporters in hot pursuit. The reporters call out, Mr. Brown. Is it true that you forged documents? He doesn't respond, his face a stone mask. Robyn slumps into her seat, crying softly inside. Christine sits in the gallery, mumbling to Janelle, she's got something to hide. You can tell by her eyes. Janelle nods. And Kody knows. He's just playing dumb. A few minutes later, Kody's attorney asks for an adjournment to chambers, a closed court hearing. But Meri's attorney refuses to let it be done in private. The world needs to know what actually occurred, he contends. The judge agrees. When court reconvenes, the atmosphere shifts. Heavy. Done. Kody is on the stand this time. He appears tired, his voice raw. I didn't deceive anyone, he insists. I didn't tamper with the birth certificates. I trusted my wife. Perhaps that was my error. Meri sits silently. She recognizes this iteration of Kody, the victim, the misunderstood man. The one who blames everyone else when everything collapses. Her attorney approaches again. Mr. Brown, did you know that Mrs. Brown, Robyn Brown, had contact with a man named Daniel Harper about 9 months prior to the child's birth? The courtroom gasps. Robyn's hand shoots to her mouth. That's not true, she wails. The attorney holds up a phone record. Text logs, dated and authenticated. Do you still deny it? Robyn's eyes flick toward Kody, then toward Meri. Her lips quiver. He was a friend. He assisted with some family matters. That's all. Meri shifts forward a little, voice hushed but sharp. Did those issues occur 9 months prior to the birth of your son? The judge raises her hand. Mrs. Brown, please avoid direct questioning. But it's done. Robyn's face dissolves. Tears spill over as she says, barely above a whisper, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. Kody's voice cracks, harsh and deep. Robyn, say it's not true. She regards him, her eyes begging. Kody, I loved you. I still do. But I made a mistake. The room becomes absolutely quiet. Kody slumps back, flabbergasted. His attorney rubs his temples, speechless. Meri blinks her eyes shut for an instant, not from happiness, but from relief. The truth finally has a voice. Robyn goes on, trembling. I was afraid. I didn't think you'd ever pardon me. I thought if I informed you, you'd depart. Kody's voice is incredulous. So you lied to me? You got me to raise a child that wasn't mine? Her weeping fills the courtroom. I didn't mean to. I just didn't want our family to break up. The judge thunders her gavel for quiet, but emotion overflows the room. Reporters write madly, camera flashes illuminate the corners. Kody rises to his feet, his chair scraping the ground. This court is a circus. You all want to wreck my life, my reputation, the judge cuts him off, stern. Sit down, Mr. Brown. He pauses, then sits down, gasping. Meri whispers softly, more to herself than to anyone else, no one broke you, Kody. You simply chose not to acknowledge the truth until it came for you. The judge declares a continuation of the trial to validate Robyn's confession and authenticate the records. But the glint in everyone's eyes tells the whole story, the truth is already out. As the courtroom clears, Christine approaches Meri softly. You okay? Meri exhales, eyes glistening. No. But I'm free. Outside, as cameras flash and reporters shout questions, Meri keeps walking, her chin high, her heart heavy but strong. Behind her, the courthouse doors close, trapping Kody and Robyn inside the chaos they created. Rain pounds the courthouse windows the following morning, casting a gloomy mood across Flagstaff. The world outside is reeling with headlines, sister wives scandal blows up. DNA shockwave destroys Brown family reputation. Everywhere, the visages of Kody, Robyn, and Meri fill the news cycle. But within the courthouse, within the heavy oak doors, the actual tempest simmers quietly, personal, acidic, and crushing. Meri is accompanied by her attorney, her face serene but fatigued. Every step she takes weighs more heavily than the previous one. She had been shrouded in denial for all these years, but today she enters head-on into the tempest of reality. She senses that there is no turning back now. Christine and Janelle are already present, sitting quietly at the rear. Their gazes meet hers, no pity, no judgment, merely wordless comprehension. Kody and Robyn step inside a few moments later. They no longer stroll side by side. There is a noticeable gap between them, as if an unseen partition divides their worlds now. Kody's confident stride has failed him, replaced by an awkward stiffness. Robyn holds her head down, tissue clutched in shaking hands. The tension between them crackles with hidden blame. The judge enters and calls the room to order. Today, she starts, we continue the case of Brown versus Brown and the charges of doctored paternity records. The words linger in the air. Meri's attorney comes forward first. Your Honor, before we begin, the plaintiff would like to present new evidence, a letter between Mrs. Robyn Brown and a man named Daniel Harper, confirmed to have been in touch during the conception period. Gasps spread throughout the courtroom. Robyn turns white. Kody clenches his jaw. The attorney hands over the papers to the judge, who reads them over perfunctorily, her face inscrutable. Text messages, phone records, and pictures, she says aloud. Mrs. Brown, do you recognize this correspondence? Robyn hesitates, holding on to her tissue. Her voice shakes. Yes, but I promise, it was not what it appears to be. Meri's attorney tilts his head. Then maybe you can explain why, in one of these texts, exactly 9 months before the baby was born, Mr. Harper sends, I can't stop thinking about that night. You said it would be our secret. The courtroom gasps. Cameras click. Robyn's tears flow freely now. Kody leans forward, glowering at her. That's not true, right? Tell them he's lying. Robyn's voice cracks, whispering, I don't know anymore. The room falls silent. Kody bangs his fist on the table. You messed everything up. Do you know what this means? Robyn weeps hysterically, I didn't mean to hurt you. I was afraid. You were already withdrawing, Kody. I was alone. The judge thumps the gavel firmly. Order. This is a courtroom, not a TV show. The audience hushes, but the sentiment remains. Meri sits, silent but unmoving. Pain clouds her eyes, but beneath that, a tranquil strength burns, the kind forged after decades of deceit. She leans forward toward her attorney. Let them talk, she breathes. The truth's working for us already. Kody's attorney stands tall. Your Honor, my client has endured great public harm. The plaintiff is employing this case as a personal grudge, profiting from the publicity. The judge cuts her off. Enough. This is not about reputation. It's about fact. She addresses Robyn. Mrs. Brown, are you affirming there is a chance Kody Brown is not the biological father of your child? Robyn snuffles, eyes glassy. Yes. It's possible. The room is filled with murmurs. Reporters rush to get their breaking news out. Kody slumps into his chair, his face pale, eyes blankly staring ahead at the judge. Several moments pass before Kody's breathing becomes more labored. His eyes brim with a different kind of water, not for crying but for fury. Do you have any concept of what you've done, Robyn? To me? To all of us? Robyn regards him, shattered. I didn't mean to ruin us. I just wanted to be loved. He laughs harshly. Loved? You had it all. You had me, you had my family. Meri interrupts quietly, her voice cold but keen. She didn't have you, Kody. None of us ever did. The words are a gavel blow. All pause. Kody's head slowly shifts in her direction. You believe you're better than us? You believe standing here makes you righteous? Meri gently shakes her head. No. I simply stopped pretending at last. The judge clears her throat. We will now consider the testimony of Mrs. Brown's correspondence with Mr. Harper. As she reads excerpts of the transcript out loud, Robyn quietly sobs. Every word is a spike into the coffin of what was once the ideal TV family. Kody remains still, hands clasped tightly in front of him, eyes unfocused. His mind scans years of sacrifices, public judgment, and now, humiliation. When the reading concludes, the judge glances up. From this evidence and the prior DNA results, this court will proceed with formal investigation into the forged documents. Kody rises quickly, his voice shouting. You can't call me a liar. I didn't fake it. I trusted my wife. The judge retorts sternly, then you have nothing to fear from the truth, Mr. Brown. Kody's rage empties into stillness. After a short recess, Meri stands in the hallway, leaning against the cold marble wall. Christine slips up to her silently. You all right? Meri breathes slowly. It's weird. For the first time in years. I feel free, but also hollow. Christine nods. That's what truth does. It breaks you before it heals you. As they converse, Kody bursts past, ignoring them, reporters in tow. Robyn lingers a few steps behind, her face in her hands. The gap between them now seems entrenched. When the court reconvenes, the judge states, "We will be calling Mr. Daniel Harper to testify tomorrow." The room goes cold once more. Robyn is white with fear. Kody clenches his fists. Meri sits rigidly, her heart racing. Under his breath, Kody growls, "If he sets foot in this courtroom, it's all over." Meri has overheard, her tone gentle but icy. "It already was, Kody. You just haven't realized it yet." The judge declares court adjourned for the day. Journalists dash out, yelling questions regarding Daniel Harper, paternity fraud, and family breakdown. The sounds reverberate down the corridors, like thunder following lightning. As Meri exits the building, raindrops start falling again, blending with the strobing camera lights. She pauses in the archway of the courthouse, gazing out at the tempest. For an instant, she allows the rain to strike her face, cold, purifying, true. Behind her, Christine's voice wafts gently. "You think tomorrow will be worse?" Meri nods weakly. Tomorrow is when the ghosts start talking. The following morning comes dark and foreboding, as if even the sky is aware of what's to come. The courthouse has a different feel today, colder, tighter, and heavier with anticipation. Every corner crackles with gossip about one name, Daniel Harper. The man who might destroy what little is left of the Brown family's tenuous reputation. Journalists pack the door, their cameras shining in the lackluster light. Will Daniel testify today? Is he actually the father? Will Kody walk out? The questions dart through the wet air. Inside, Meri sits wordlessly at her table, tracing the cover of her notepad with her fingers. She's weary, but her eyes are alert, clear and sharp. There's no going back. She knows when Daniel talks, everything is different. Christine and Janelle stand behind her, muttering softly, worry etched on their faces. Kody comes in a few minutes later, his face turbulent. He doesn't say hello to anyone. He strides directly to his seat, his body rigid with anger. His attorney gets in his ear, speaking low, but Kody hardly reacts. His gaze glances over Robyn, seated a few feet from him, white-faced and shaking. No warmth is left between them now. No couple glances. Just silence and accusation. The judge walks in, stern and unflappable. Court is now in session. We will take testimony from Mr. Daniel Harper. There is a hush in the room as a tall man emerges from the rear. He's late 30s, dark hair, nervous eyes. He pauses, then gets up onto the stand, flicking a quick glance at Robyn, the sort of glance that speaks of history. He recites the oath. His voice is shaking as he says, "I do." Meri observes him closely. She's never met Daniel, but watching him now, the way Robyn doesn't make eye contact, the strain in Kody's tight jaw, she already knows. The judge signals Meri's attorney. "You may proceed." "Mr. Harper," the attorney says softly, "can you explain to the court how you know Mrs. Robyn Brown?" Daniel swallows hard. "We met about 5 years ago. Through a mutual friend. I was helping her with some family legal issues." "And did your relationship remain professional?" He hesitates. Robyn looks down at her hands, twisting her tissue until it tears. "No," Daniel admits softly. "It became personal." A group gasp sweeps across the room. Kody's jaw clenches. His attorney grumbles under his breath, but Kody doesn't budge. He simply glares at Daniel, still, seething on the inside. The attorney goes on, "Personal in what way, Mr. Harper?" Daniel's voice lowers. We began seeing each other in private. It wasn't supposed to happen. She said things were complicated, that her marriage was failing. I trusted her." Robyn's shoulders convulse with stifled sobs. Kody doesn't release the edge of the table from his grip, his knuckles white with tension. "And were you in contact around the time her child was conceived?" Daniel nods slowly. Yes. We were together several times that month. Meri shuts her eyes for a moment. The room weighs heavy, oppressive. The truth has taken shape at last, human, tangible, irrefutable. The lawyer extends a paper to Daniel, the DNA test report. Mr. Harper, the test indicates a 99.9% certainty that you are the biological father. Do you accept that finding? Daniel breathes heavily. Yes. I volunteered for the test. I didn't know until a while ago, but, yes. He's my son. The courtroom erupts in gasps. Reporters scramble to file updates. Robyn buries her face and cries openly. Kody jumps up, eyes burning. You're lying, he shouts. You're just trying to destroy us. Daniel shakes his head, voice shaking. I'm not lying. I didn't even know he was born until last year. I'm not here for money or publicity, I'm here because I have a right to know my son. The judge raps the gavel. Order. But no one stirs. No one even draws a breath. Kody shakes a finger at Robyn. You said that child was mine. You swore on everything we created. Robyn's crying is now beyond control. I didn't know. I thought it was yours, Kody. I swear, I did. He laughs coldly. You didn't know? You mean you didn't care? Meri observes in silence. Her heart hurts, not for Kody, but for what remains of the man she loved. She mutters softly to herself, the truth doesn't destroy people, their lies do. The judge inhales deeply. Taking all this testimony and the confirmed DNA evidence into consideration, the court accepts that Mr. Harper is the biological father of the child in question. Kody leans over into his seat, defeated. Robyn bursts into tears. Daniel sits in silence, his eyes fixed on the ground. The judge goes on, this court will go on to consider the legal consequences, including possible charges of document forgery and perjury, subject to investigation. The atmosphere is thick with tension. Each word is a nail hammered into a coffin. Meri's attorney stands. Your Honor, my client concludes her case for today. We would like to excuse Mrs. Meri Brown from appearing at the next hearing since she is not being investigated. The judge nods. Approved. With the gavel's crack, the courtroom gradually empties out. The hum of voices, the creaking of chairs, the snapping of cameras, all becomes a cacophony of indifference. Kody doesn't budge. He simply sits, staring blankly in front of him. His lawyer puts a hand on his shoulder, but he shrugs it away. Robyn, trembling and pale, reaches for him. Kody, please, speak. He slowly turns his head, his eyes clouded with something more than anger, sheer despair. You didn't just destroy our family, Robyn. You destroyed everything I ever believed in. She cries harder. I never wanted this, he interrupts her. You wanted control. You wanted to be the favorite wife, the one who set me straight. But all you did was wreck me. The sentences cut through the quiet. Even Christine in the back winces. Outside, the rain rains harder. Reporters flock the steps, yelling questions. Daniel emerges first, covering his face from cameras. Meri emerges a few minutes later, Christine and Janelle holding her hand. The world outside is light and dim, but within her heart, it's oddly quiet. Christine puts a hand on her shoulder. You did it. You spoke the truth. Meri nods, tears shining in her eyes. No. The truth spoke itself. In the background, the doors of the courthouse burst open. Kody erupts out, followed by Robyn, who's being escorted by her attorney. They're both engulfed in the sea of flashing cameras. For an instant, Kody stands at the top of the stairs, soaked in rain and fury. He glances about, at the cameras, at the faces gawking, at Meri striding off, and breathes hoarsely, it wasn't supposed to end like this. But the truth doesn't concern itself with how things were meant to be. It only concerns itself with the fact that it's finally free. As Meri gets into her vehicle, she glances back at the courthouse for the last time, the building where the past had been left behind and the future started. The last day of the trial starts under a battered sky. The courthouse is quiet, with pacing reporters and muttering spectators gathered around. For weeks, the nation has been captivated by the case of Meri Brown against Kody and Robyn. But today there are no rumors remaining, only the hefty expectation of justice. Within the courtroom, the air is charged. All seats are filled. The same walls that had previously rung out with insinuations now await the ring of a gavel that might seal years of deceit, manipulation, and pain. Meri arrives first, her face serene but inscrutable. Her formerly fragile bearing has solidified into quiet strength. She makes her way to her seat without glancing at any of them, her heels making soft ringing noises against the marble floor. She does not bear anger anymore, only the heaviness of closure. Kody appears a few minutes later. His once boastful stance is lost. His shoulders slump under weightless chains of remorse and shame. The man who had once headed a family now appears as if he's lost his bearings altogether. Robyn trails behind him, her face concealed behind shades. She holds a crumpled tissue, shaking as she sits down. The judge arrives right on time at 9. Now, this court shall render its verdict. The gavel comes down once, swift, decisive, ringing out in every heart in the room. The judge goes on, having considered testimony, DNA data, and all materials submitted to the court rules that Mrs. Robyn Brown willfully misrepresented the paternity of her child in legal proceedings relative to the estate of the Brown family. Gasps circulate through the courtroom. Robyn's lips quiver, her eyes widen. Kody sits blankly in front of her, as if his mind cannot accept the words. Additionally, the judge adds, Mr. Kody Brown is deemed complicit in withholding significant financial records during the investigation. Although the court appreciates his cooperation later on, such withholdings cannot be overlooked. Kody closes his eyes. His hands tremble a bit, but he doesn't say anything. Mrs. Meri Brown, the judge instructs, looking at her, this court finds your testimony and evidence credible and helpful in the disclosure of the truth. You are cleared of all previous accusations and granted full legal immunity against defamation and financial retribution from the Brown family estate. Meri takes a deep breath for the first time, a whispered, shaking sigh of relief. Christine and Janelle glance at each other from the back row. Robyn releases a soft cry, hiding her face in her hands. Her attorney whispers something in haste, but she doesn't hear it. The judge pauses. Based on the seriousness of this case, the court orders a 6-month probationary supervision for both Kody and Robyn Brown on matters of financial disclosure and custody issues. The paternity of the child will be legally changed to biological accuracy. It's done. The words linger in the air, heavy, irrevocable. Kody sits back slowly, gazing at the ceiling. His face is white, almost gaunt. All he worked for, his marriages, his reputation, his power, has fallen apart in the space of weeks. Robyn extends her hand, but he draws it away. Not with anger this time, but weariness. He speaks softly, his voice a rasp, "You lied to me, Robyn. And I let you." Tears run down her face. "I thought I was saving us." He shakes his head. "You were saving yourself." The courtroom starts to clear, but Meri remains seated, looking intently at the judge's bench. To her, this building will forever carry both pain and power, the platform on which she lost everything, then discovered herself again. Christine approaches her softly. "You okay?" Meri nods slowly. "I don't know if I'm okay. But I'm free." Outside, the world breaks loose. Cameras flash, microphones jut out, questions come from all sides. "Meri, how do you feel about the verdict? Will you rebuild your life now? Do you forgive Kody and Robyn?" Meri stops on courthouse steps, rain again beginning to drizzle. She surveys the crowd, the faces, the lights, the bedlam, and then just says, "The truth isn't about revenge. It's about peace. And I finally have mine." The cameras snap like thunder. That one line goes viral in minutes, a quote that is both a confession and a triumph. while Kody and Robyn make their way out the side door, protected by their attorneys. Reporters still get a glimpse, two battered figures in silence. Robyn's tears sparkle in the gray light. Kody's jaw clenches, his eyes empty. The man who once demanded attention is now a shadow of himself. They arrive at their car, and before the door closes, Robyn whispers, "Kody, please, don't leave me." He pauses. Then, with a tired exhalation, he says, "You already did." And the door closes. Inside the courthouse again, Meri piles up her files, the evidence that had devastated her world. But now, they weigh less, mere paper and ink. She stacks them neatly in a folder marked "closed." Christine finds her. "You really think it's over?" Meri smiles faintly. "Over? Perhaps in court. But healing, that's another test." As they head for the door, they walk past the now vacant courtroom. The chairs, the gavel, the silence, everything resonates with the echoes of what has been said, what has been lost, and what has been learned. Meri halts for a final glance. "You know," she says quietly, "this room witnessed everything, lies, tears, truth. But it also witnessed me getting back up." Christine gives a nod. "And that's what people will remember." The two women emerge out into the rain. No reporters this time, no commotion, just the gentle clatter of droplets washing away the grime of the past. Meri tilts her head back, allowing rain to fall upon her face. It's cold, cleansing, real. She speaks softly to herself, saying, "For years, I waited for someone else to fix me. Turns out, I just needed the truth." She faces towards the parking lot, a weak smile cracking through. Behind her, the courthouse stands, no longer a symbol of fear, but a monolith of rebirth. Hours later, the Brown family name is trending online for all the wrong reasons. News outlets repeat footage of the verdict. Fans fight, weep, and make guesses. But to Meri, all that is irrelevant. She sits in her window that evening, tea in one hand, observing the rain stream down the glass. Her phone rings with texts, calls, interview requests. She answers none of them. Instead, she opens her journal. For the first time in years, she writes not of hurt, but hope. Today, she writes carefully, "The truth won. And so did I." The camera slowly pulls back, rain still gently pattering against the glass. The music builds, soft, introspective, conclusive. And just as the screen is about to turn black, Meri's voice remains, "Perhaps the truth doesn't set you free completely at first. Perhaps it frees you piecemeal, until one day you can breathe once more."